Hey guys, welcome to Clockwork down to Noodles for another breakdown of Bartender 2024. We're going to go for episode number 7. Welcome back to the show. Hope you guys are doing okay. It's of course the chill hour. Relax, chill out, grab a drink of whatever you're drinking. And we're going to go through my thoughts and feelings on episode 7. Very impressed. And I've always said that animes tend to get better as you start approaching the midway point. Bartender has been a show that has been surprising me, and I did go into it trying to be as open as I could because I've always been a huge fan of the original. The original to me has always just had a very special spot in my heart. I found it way back when I was new to anime, and I was digging around trying to find something, and I found it a very special place in my heart. It wasn't the best, it wasn't mind-blowing. The stories hit me, they were very deep. This week's episode really felt like old style Bartender, and I'm very glad to be getting those feelings because I love the show. To start feeling like that is a very good sign. I do want to say there is a midway review going out for you guys on Friday. Make sure you go check that out. There's also a big announcement coming out now any day. Like, I'm just waiting for the okay, and then I can tell you my big announcement. It's going to be big things for the show, so I really hope that you guys can subscribe. Let's go through some new changes on the channel. Keep your eyes peeled for the big announcement. There is of course the coffee account. Please do go check that out if you want to support the channel. Let's just get straight to it and go into the first chunk about the idea of a first drink in a country. The first thing that came to my mind was when I went to Romania. This was many years ago for my birthday. I went through a Romania phase just because I wanted to go and see a country that was in Europe, but it's also very much its own place. There's a lot of spliced history going on there. There's a lot of interesting tales coming out. They are actually a country that are quite poor, but they love talking. And I remember going there, and I stayed at a really nice hotel because it was really cheap, but it was a 5-star. But because it's Romania, you will get more for your money. I actually had Romanian snaps. It was completely free on the house. They wanted to celebrate the fact that I was there for my birthday. Honestly, Romania is one of the most friendliest places I've ever been. It's not a economy rich country, but it's rich full of people who just want to talk. The amount of people who came over going, oh, you're here, what are you going to do? Let's recommend this thing over there. And it really was just a country that I was welcomed wherever I went. I don't have a bad thing to say about it, but I remember having the Romanian snaps, and it perhaps blew my head off. There is a video somewhere, and I'm not pointing it out, but it's me doing it live, actually drinking the snaps, and like my face says it all, literally just says it all. It was really strong. That's going to warm you up in the winter, but it's the idea of your first impressions. The first drink at a bar to a foreign tourist in Japan, this would be the first thing that you're going to taste. Of course, they go to Sasakura for advice, but you do start feeling very bad for Sasakura this episode because he ends up being like the mum of the show, and I'm starting to call him the mummy because everyone goes to him with the problems. And it's like, are you paying this guy? This poor guy is having to do your work for you, which you get paid to do. Are you paying him? Now, let's talk about Kelvin. Kelvin is the man of the episode, and he's been fired from his bar. I love this guy. I actually love the backstory for Kelvin. It really hits because we already know he's got a very controlling backstory. He's expected to be the heir of the company, and his dad has his own plans for him. You are the heir. It's just sad because you can see Kelvin really found something when he went out on that tour, and he discovered something, and he's really involved in his bartendering. That's what he really wants to do, and you can see how much it means to him. And then when the dad comes in for the first time and he just walks off, he doesn't even want to drink the drink, you just start wondering, like, what's gone wrong? Why hasn't he tried it? The line he says is that you've learned nothing about service. You start wondering, what is good service? When I brought up hospitality, that's something that I've learned a few times because I've been in the hospitality business once. I obviously now work in the retail, but customer service also does come into that. Not so much maybe in the retail industry, but you do still have to cater for the customer in front of you. Maybe not everyone does it, but I do sometimes, especially in my work, I do have to cater. And it's something that I think Kelvin has to learn this week. And we learn it from perhaps the best person, Mummy, of course. Mummy teaching us about the idea of you got to look at the customer in front of you. He didn't notice how tired his dad was. He actually overlooked the customer. He was actually trying to show off, go, oh, here's my very nice drink. And he didn't actually take into account what the customer was feeling. A very good lesson, but poor Mummy just feeling overwhelmed as everybody starts to go to him for problems. He's definitely the mum. And I don't know if he's being paid for his help because he's definitely doing people's work. He's a very nice character. Sasakura is the overarching continuous character for the show. He's always been the face of Bartender, which is really nice. He's a character who doesn't really talk much about himself. He doesn't really talk about his successes. We do see his mentor this week, and we do start to wonder, where is his mentor? I can't remember. I think I actually know the answer to this one, but I'm not going to say anything in case I am right, and I don't want to spoil it for people, or I could be misremembering, but I think I'm actually on the money with this, but I'm not going to say anything because I do want there to be as much surprise as possible in the show because the show is so good. I think for the people who are finding it for the first time, there's a lot of people in the comments who like Kelvin. Very happy with that. I just want everybody to get the most from the show, so I'm not spoiling anything. I'm not even going to risk it. Kelvin's staying at the bar this time around at Eden Hall, and I love the fact that Sasakura is giving him help, trying to give him a hint. I do wonder, and obviously this is a big conspiracy theory, if Sasakura actually failed the welcome drink thing on purpose to teach our boy a lesson about the idea of making a mistake and trying to teach him that you need to consider people in front of you. Because he says, I'm unable to make a drink for somebody I can't see. A welcome drink for a customer, I don't even know what they want, what they're expecting. He says he struggles. But it does feel like it's also aiding Kelvin to give him a nudge in the right direction. Like, look, you need to consider the person in front of you, their story, what do they want? And obviously with the second drink, it's got the Sakura in it because he says, this is what we were supposed to see the day that my brother passed away and we didn't get to see the Sakura. So I knew Sakura would appear in the drink. And this is the perfect drink, as his dad says. It's perfect. You've made it with somebody in mind. It's nice and gentle because he's actually more awake this time around. He's actually had a chance to sleep. So it's a perfect drink. However, it still has a very imperfect result. He's still told to pack his bags, time to go. Kudos, you're allowed to make drinks in your own house, but that's not what our boy wants. It's a very sad episode because you make the perfect drink and still get an imperfect result. You can be perfect and still not have the perfect results. But what is Kelvin going to do? Is he just going to pack up and give up on his dreams, or is he going to do something? It's got to be something that he's going to come up with. Perhaps he's going to go to our mummy again and go, hey, can you help me out? So we'll have to see what happens. But I will say this week's episode was very good. I really like the continuation of the Kelvin plot. I like digging into these characters. That's what Bartender always did. It was very character driven as opposed to action or anything. It was always, this is a story, we're going to dig into it, this is the character, this is the emotion. I like that about it. I will say I have started getting a lot of gin fizz adverts on Facebook, and they must know that I'm watching Bartender because I did mention the gin fizz a while ago that I really wanted to try it because Gordon's Gin, right, and they're not a sponsor. I think Gordon's do a lemon one, and I know loads of people don't like it because they say it tastes like washing liquid, but I like lemon. I'm a big fan of lemon flavoured things. I really want to try a gin fizz with that gin in it, or maybe even a strawberry one as well. I'd like to try that. But I think Facebook knows I'm watching this anime because I have mentioned it on my Facebook before that I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it. I think they're watching. Facebook is seeing everything. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you're nice and chill, relaxing, and enjoying the anime. The anime is really, really good, and it's so good to wind your day down with. Have a great day, guys. Stay tuned for the big news, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye, guys.